This video tutorial is all about integrating kettlebells, clubbells, and steel mace for maximum shoulder strength. So today, my goal is to show you how different families of exercises got to bring us to the end result of a beautiful and clean 360 swing. So allow me to demo the beautiful end result. So we'll start with the mace in a prayer position here, top hand indicating the direction of the swing. We've got our block, our dump, and our pull. And mind you, I've been swinging clubs and mace for many, many years, over a decade now. And so my body's really adapted to this form. I can do it literally with my eyes closed. But when folks generally start out with working with a mace, you'll see something a bit more clunky. So sometimes the body will want to achieve that motion, but doesn't quite have it mapped in the nervous system. So it'll look like this. It'll be like a clunk backward and then kind of this pullover action. And that was a smooth version or demonstration of what I've seen. I've definitely seen some clunk, clunk, clunk. I've seen people kind of smacking their hips behind and then really wrenching it into position, and posture gets all misaligned. So as I break down the different families of exercises with kettlebells and clubs, I hope that you can see how we might arrive at a more dynamic swing. These are definitely not beginner, these are intermediate, assuming that you have a kettlebell practice or a heavy clubs practice. If you don't, please just observe or use a very, very light kettlebell when first getting started, or a very light club. So first we have our halo. So you'll start with your kettlebell with grip confirmation, shoulders packed, glutes on. And then rotate your kettlebell in such a way that the elbow lines up with the rib cage, and you see that the wrist and the elbow are in a line. From here, you can cast the kettlebell up and over the shoulders, keeping the elbow tracking in towards the midline, like so, here. Once it arrives behind the back, you can pull the elbows tight, and then transfer the load to the opposite side, and then pull the kettlebell down into order and return back to this position here. So rotate, elbow to rib, drive, elbow tracking in, pull the kettlebell behind the head, halo the kettlebell around, end here, and then arrive in the center. So notice I've got landmarks. This requires me to have quite a bit of wrist mobility. I'm steering my kettlebell into position, keeping grip confirmation the entire time, and I can go in either direction. Glutes are on, core is stable. From the side, it might look like this. This requires quite a bit of shoulder flexibility to achieve that. Now let's look at what I have come to learn is the gamma cast with the club. So similar starting point. Start in our guard position, drive the club bell back. You can staccato style, just move the club bell to the opposite side, pull down. So think of a typewriter. Letter A, B, C, D. Add the breath. A, B, C, D. Eventually over time, that gets a little more smooth. Always going in that one direction if I'm doing reps for time, and then you can switch sides. The hand that's closest to the knob will be bearing a bit more load. So notice the difference. If my hand is here, it's less top heavy in nature, and there's less length on the club as if I were holding here. So I like to hold closer to the knob for that reason. So again, grip confirmation, scapula neutral, drive your club actively in position. Notice as I drive, I have leverage, leverage, leverage the whole entire time. I'm not just sinking my club bell into position. I'm wielding my club bell with control, loading with leverage, optimizing that leverage. In this exercise, the goal is to perform the pullover moment. In a 360 swing, our goal is to actually move in the sagittal plane here. So it's more of a single-handed or double-handed mill. So it'd be block, dump, pull, land in prayer, block, dump, pull. Now, when I first learned and was working with clubs initially, I would learn what's called a single-handed mill. So my shoulder got really used to that motion here, and then I just added my other hand to it, but I had already been performing single-handed mills with 10-pound clubs for a really long time. So this action became really easy for me. So notice, I'm not capturing here, I'm landing here. So imagine your body between two panes of glass. Yes, it's important to be able to bear load here in some exercises, but for this swing, we're capturing it in a different plane. So ways to integrate that into Mace. You can choke up at first when working your 360s. You could theoretically start with all of those like landmarks with the Mace if you wanted, right? And then when you're ready to go into your swings, take it slow. Drive the Mace into the top back corner of the room, block, dump, wield the Mace into the starting position, back to prayer. Block, dump, and pull. So I think a lot of times when people first start swinging Mace, they're really excited about the first phase. So this looks really good, and then there's this like clunk action, yeah? So how do we fix the clunk? We gotta get used to feeling the Mace traveling like a big swing, and this requires the grip to be relatively loose. So I'll demo from behind. I'm actually holding with my A-OK grip, and my fingers are wiggling. There's a slight bit of rotation in the thoracic spine. When I talk about A-OK grip, I'm talking about these fingers being the most dominant and they're staying married to my tool the whole time. You can also practice a looser grip here and just get comfortable with that swing, like feeling the globe move from 180, from 0 to 180 degrees on either side. And eventually, you turn that into block, dump, pull, a nice clean swing. Of course, it will help and benefit for you to really master the mill with the Clubbell as well. So hopefully that allows you to get a little more insight on how to integrate all of these tools. And if you have any questions, comments, I'd love to hear from you below. Comment below, smash that subscribe button, and keep following. And we're gonna have lots of tutorials this year. Stay in touch, and I'll see you at the FlowShella Virtual Studio real soon.